Now, talking of the gentleman joining me, Augustine, welcome to the show. It's been a while. This whole year, we've not met here.
Really?
Yeah, you see, I'm rhyming.
This whole year?
We've not met here. Yeah, it works.
Then we've met here.
Now. How have you been? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my brother. Yeah.
Wonderful. This year, more big things. We have already seen some big things happening in your life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. God bless you.
Amen.
Wonderful.
God bless you too.
Oh, amen. By the way, speaking of Augustine, anytime we bring in Augustine, remember that he is the local version of Fabrizio combined with Oyston.
You didn't add DiMaggio.
Yes. So Spintex DiMaggio. He is Spintex DiMaggio. And when it comes to transfers, the godfather of Fabrizio Romano is DiMaggio. That's why he is known as Spintex DiMaggio. Now, Spintex DiMaggio, let's quickly get into it and start talking some interesting transfers. Things have been happening on the local league. What has shocked you so far? What exactly has shocked you?
So the second transfer window really doesn't bring much of shocks, right? But then some teams did fall short at a point in time, so they had to just make some adjustments and then sign some players who were initially not part of their plans. So I think that's what would be a for shock. But then, it's a very long season, and then teams would obviously sign when they have the chance to augment their squad and then put themselves in that position to contend for the title. So yes, so there's no much shock, because if you're a team A and you are battling relegation currently, you do everything possible to beef up your squad to climb up the table, possibly move into better spaces.
Anyways, we'll get into the actual names soon. But let me find out from you as well. Who has been the most expensive signing so far? Because I keep hearing free agent this, free agent that, free agent this, free agent that. Who has been the most expensive signing so far?
For Ghana transfers, you mostly hear a transfer being made, but the fee will be undisclosed. So, but for now, those big players who have made the signing so far have been free agents. So we are actually not recording monies in terms of this transfer. But then, hopefully, since we still have some hours for the transfer window to end, we might possibly see some amount of cash going somewhere, moving somewhere, and then some clubs also receiving that over there. But as I said, we start the season. This is mostly not part of the plans of most of the teams. So you don't expect them to pump in cash, but you expect them to survive the league, go into the long transfer window, and then see how they could best bring the teams on board and do the preseason with them, and then start the season afresh and possibly do better than the one before.
Okay, possibly do better than the one before. So far, have there been any peculiar shocks for you?
In terms of transfers?
Yes.
Yes. The peculiar shock would be one team deciding to sign players of a similar profile like too many times. Yes, which of course, but then we will get to a time where how they split, then everyone will get to understand.
Wonderful. Now let's look at the league table, the league log as halfway through the season. Let's look at it. So who is signing more players? Is it those in the middle, those above, or those below?
So yes, this league table actually is from match day 3. So we had the transfer window opening on 23rd December. That was Monday, and then ending today, Wednesday. So 23rd, we went back in a week's time to see possibly maybe things happening before a week would force you to making some decisions in the transfer window, because if you are not doing well, that would force you to sign players and do well. Okay. So as at that time, this was the current.
Okay, so when the transfer window was opened, this was the look of the league.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So from the look of the league, you could tell that Heart of Lions, of course, were at the summit, and then there was being good stars, and our two biggest clubs, Kotoko was lying around 6 and Heart of lying around 7, which is something the fans would not expect. So you'll be forced to make some signings, and then we also look at the players that they decided to sign, and if these players are going to serve the purposes that they want. So, and you also see that some clubs like Accra Lions, who were second last season, now that time was 16th place, but currently they are situated at the bottom of the league. You see, during last year they were semi-finalists, the Cup, Confederations Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, the Africa's edition of Europa League.
Yeah.
They're in the semi-finals. And if they should be around this place, and that's not good. You have Aduana, one of the clubs who have been very competitive season in, season out, but them being located around this kind of position is also not appealing at all. So you look at the moves that they made and the deals that they've made also to see if they could possibly come up, or this is just going to be their fate.
Wonderful. So what are some of the moves that have been made in the transfer window? What are some of the moves that
So you first go to the most talked about club in Ghana, yes, that's Asante Kotoko, because the media really talk about Kotoko. So we touch on Kotoko first. Kotoko have signed a whopping 6 players in this window. In the long transfer window, the first one they signed about 14. So adding this makes it 20.
So Kotoko has signed 20 players in the space of 6 months.
Yes, 20 players. So was it, or was this what they actually wanted to do? That's the question. Kotoko started the season with at least 2 players in almost every position. You go to the goalkeeping departments, they have Mohamed Kamara, Frederick Asari, right back. They have Lodamwa, Emmanuel Kote, left back. They have Abdul Esmat Hezababagi, and then Patrick Esiedu. They are Justice Blue, who could debutize as, or who could also play as a midfielder or defensive midfielder, also as a centre back. They had Sama Ndongani, Gelbani. They also had Joseph Fablo, Henry Anso was there. Midfield, they had Andrew Sentimeno, Samotini, Baba Yaya, Emmanuel Entry. They had Ovichie for front, Peter Kwamido. They had Betamo, and then one other striker, who is Abdul Karim Abdul Uf Yagub. But then they traveled. You remember Kotoko team traveled to the USA, I think back in October. Yes, and then.
So, but before you continue, have they found the 2 players?
I've not heard anything about those 2 players.
Okay. We'll dig into that when the transfer window ends. Where the 2 players are, and we have all gone quiet on it. Good afternoon, going out to the President of the United States. We'll be calling on you very soon for that particular.
So yeah, as you said, when they traveled to the USA, they came with 2 less players.
-2.
Yes, -2. Okay. And those players were Sudanese. One was a left back, and then one was a striker, which meant that Kotoko since then played with 1 striker and then 1 left back. Okay. So if you're a big club like Kotoko want to compete for the title, you don't expect to go through the whole season with this kind of thing. So that forced them to sign more strikers, because even before the transfer window opened, Kotoko had played 13 games. And they had scored 11 times. And out of those 11 times, 7 had been scored by 1 player, who was the striker, the lone striker they had. That person was Albertamwa. There was a time Albertamwa was sidelined due to injury. He had to attend international team duties, and that affected Kotoko. So when the transfer window opened, the first thing they did was to go in for a striker. And the first person they signed was Kwame Poku. Kwame Poku is a famous name, probably known as Beye. He has his goal celebration to be something like this. So Kwame Poku came to Kotoko. And Kwame Poku, when he came, things actually wasn't going well for Albertamwa, such that he also got injured. And he has been out, or he's going to be out for 2 months now. He slotted in perfectly. And in 4 games that he has played, he has scored 5.
5 in 4.
5
Good
in 4 games.
return.
Yes. And before him, Kotoko had played 13 and scored 11. Now Kotoko, after playing 4, has scored 8.
So you say he's the difference now?
He might be the difference, but then playing him only could be a similar situation like Kotoko had with Albertamwa. So what did they do? They went into the market once again, signed another forward to help him, and that came from Samson Iduku. He's a former player of Sekeni 11 Wise, Sekeni Yazakes, and Tamale City, which made him popular. He played for them in the 2022-2023 season, where he scored 14 goals in the Ghana Premier League. You know how much or what it takes to score 14 goals in the Ghana Premier League, including the brace against the glorious Accra Folks. So he traveled outside Ghana after that. Things didn't go well, and he came back. And he came as a free agent. So Kwampu came as a free agent. He also came as a free agent, which makes it quite exciting to get players of such quality for free.
Do you think it's worrying to get such quality for free, or we should look at it half full or half empty? Because why are they free?
They are free. Well, for Kwampuku will tell you that he terminated his contract with his North African club not because of footballing reasons, but because of other personal reasons.
Okay.
So such a player can't tell me that yes.
So let's get through it. Let's get through it.
So after signing Samson Iduku, they also went in again for another top-notch striker. He's one in the Ghana Premier League in the shape of Isaac Minta. Isaac Minta also for Adriana Neo DiBiase, and also Liberty has also been, or Legon Cities has also been perfect in the Ghanaian local scenes. Then there was one controversy in their goalkeeping segment or department, said that there was a competition between Frederick Asare and Mohamed Kamara. But there was a time where Frederick Asare was also missing most of their matches through injury. There was one under goalkeeper to slot in for the club, and that was Fatah Osedu. You can't trust a goalkeeper like that. So they then signed a young goalkeeper, a goalkeeper of the national U20 team. He was playing for Young Apostles. That's Benjamin Asare.
So he also came on a free?
No, he didn't come on a free transfer. He was signed for an undisclosed fee.
Why do Ghanaian clubs like undisclosed?
Because they don't want their family members to know their pockets.
Wonderful. Let's
continue. And the unfortunate happened such that with about 2 weeks for the transfer window to end, their right back, one of their right backs, got injured through an ACL. So he's going to miss the whole season. Yeah. And that forced them to bring in another right back, and that came in the shape of Daniel Adran Ajete. Yeah. So Ajete is one guy who had played in the lower tiers in Europe and also for Nania FC in Ghana. So we thought that he could also come, if managed very well, bring in some quality. And you remember I told you once Daniel left back, they didn't come back to Ghana. Yeah. And today, some few hours before our show, they've signed a left back, and a left back comes in a very good shape. A Ghanaian, Kwesi Asante, he had played for Simba of Tanzania and some other clubs, which also makes him a very good addition. He can play as a left back, a centre back, and as a left winger. So that should tell you the kind of versatile player Kotoko has signed. So I think these additions are good only if they could job. But then the sign of Kampoko, I think in his first stint at Kotoko, he played half season and he got a deal abroad. So now, with the kind of form he's on, I don't expect him to play next season for Kotoko. So that is why it's understandable and she bring in something to Isaac Minta. And especially when they have a better more already. So that they wouldn't find it difficult to gel in the coming season. So I think that is why they made
let's move on.
Such transfers. So there's also glorious accounts of people who admit to sign it because they didn't have much casualties. One set or say probably known as Schoolboy. Yes, he's a former player of Ashanti Gold. He's a Wafa graduate. He's very good in the ball. He has a very low center gravity or center of gravity. It's very difficult to dispossess him of the ball. So he came, he signed for TS Galaxy somewhere in July, but things didn't go. He came back, and then now he's playing for He's a very good addition for them, especially when they lose a player like Sani Mohammed to AC Watkins in Denmark. So you expect someone who is creative, who could take on players to come and slot in very well for you. Nice. And the next one is the House of Africa also lost one player, midfielder Salim Adams. Yes, once again, I learned he traveled to Moldova for trials and he hasn't been back, which means that possibly trials has gone well for him. So they then go to Nagod in the lower tiers of Ghana. Nagod. So this should tell you that this player is God.
I've not to catch you. I've actually seen some wonderful free kicks from this lad.
Yes. He is that Ghanaian version of Kevin De Bruyne.
Can we continue?
He gives you power.
No problem.
Yes, he gives you power. He has a very strong striking ability. Hopefully, he becomes the player we know him.
Okay, so what's his nickname then?
Ghana Kevin De Bruyne.
Ghana Kevin De Bruyne.
Yes, Ghana Kevin De Bruyne. So the next team to look at is Nations FC. They are currently contending for the league title over there. So Nations FC went into the market. There was one guy who was a good disciple of Coach Akansi Mengo. As at when he was at Bechem United, he was Emmanuel. Emmanuel is a very young player, a very good dribbler of the ball, a goal pusher. He's a winger and also an attacking midfielder, and then he went to sign him. He came his first 2 games. He scored goals.
Wonderful. So he's going to be scoring more goals
hopefully,
and creating more chances.
And especially when they have other scoring guns in the shape of Faisal Chaute, and then I expect him to do very well. And today, they also signed former right back of Kotoko and also Great Olympics, Christopher Nete. Somewhere 2019, he was languishing around the Black Stars in the doubleheader against Sudan AFCON qualifier. So this guy is also a very good addition, especially with the experience to Nations Service, which will help them possibly to also do well. So if you are signing players and then we look at where the league is right now, so this is the standings of the league right now.
Now?
Yes, now. So the transfer window is ending now.
Yeah.
When the season ends, we will come back to this and tell if the players actually made impact.
Or not.
Okay.
But wait, first question. Vision, they are not signing anyone.
Vision are not signing, but they are losing players as well. But hopefully they have a vision and they see what we don't see. Is that fine? So
it's very fine. It's very fine.
So you look at it when uncharacteristically you will see teams like Diana 12th place and also Dreams FC 15th place. But these 2 teams have also decided to do something.
Not to sign.
So there's one here, Dreams FC. who has made 2 additions. Ibrahim Osman is
not the Ibrahim Osman.
no.
Okay.
The local Ibrahim Osman.
No problem.
So he's a former forward of Asante Kotoko, and he has now been signed by Dreams. Hopefully, he came and he has played 2 games for them. He's doing quite well, although they lost their last game against Lagos by 3 goals to 0. And they also added the winger Kofi Masha also to their squad. Possibly he could also come in and help them leave or flee from the relegation. But where Adrian also comes place, Adrian uncharacteristically has signed 4 players. You don't see this from Adrian, especially at this time of the season.
No problem.
The first one by Jay. He's a former player of Adriana. Last season, if you hear Adriana has scored, the first name that comes into mind is Baite J. He went and now he's back for good. Possibly could replicate what Kwame Poku is doing. So there's Baite J over there. There's Maxwell Arthur. Maxwell Arthur also is a former player of Karela and also Legon City over there. He comes to also add to the squad of Adriana. And also Emmanuel Pate, he's not the brother of Thomas Pate. So he's also a midfielder as well. He was training with Hearts of Folk during the off-season, and he also comes as a former player of BA United in the Brown and Afro region. And there's Levin Sata, a former player of Hearts of Folk, and who also formerly played for the Tamale City. He has experience in the Ghana Premier League. Hopefully, they could do something better for it. We will come back at the end of the season and see whether they made impact or not.
Okay, no problem. But I want us to talk about Legon Cities and Accra Lions. Legon Cities are losing players, but they are also signing youngsters. But when we talk, Accra Lions are losing players and signing youngsters. But when we talk about Legon Cities, we know something interesting has happened. Ah, boy!
Beam Nation!
Yeah, man! You know? Listen, formerly, the Legon City lads were giving us entertainment at halftime. But now they say they'll bring the entertainment to the pitch. So if you want to watch GPL action, the sports stadium, Legon Sports Stadium, is the place to be. Listen, you can continuously go there because the younger brother of Stone Boy, Setekla, yes, he has been signed. Now, do we know where he's coming from?
Interestingly, we don't know where he's coming from, but all we know is that he's a brother of Stoneboy. So hopefully he can convince the coach. Now, coach, I'm the brother of Stoneboy. Let me play and I'll do wonders, just like my brother is doing. And mind you, they've also gone in for Emmanuel James, formerly of Santa Cruz and Adriana. And then, but I don't see them getting out of this zone because it will be very difficult, especially the kind of matches they have to play. Yes, I don't expect them to get out of this relegation zone.
All right. So 17 games more for us to find out whose transfer magic worked. Would our boy be able to bring some beam into the steps of Stone Boy and bring his magical, vibrations into the life of Legon Cities? Because where they are on the table, they need beam to get out of it, or else relegation. Dreams FC signed 2 players. Would it be enough to make them fully safe, or relegation? Do you think the Accra Lions losing players, placing second, sacking your coach, bringing in youngsters will be able to get you off rock bottom, or relegation? Kerala United going around collecting one goal, away. They need to make things happen, or relegation. All things need to work together for these teams. We'll see who eventually gets to go down this particular season. Remember that this is still off the cuff.